it's Belfry from BelfryWellness.com. I'm a human potentialist because I see the potential in each and every one of you. So today's video is, if you've been following me, there's a common theme, obviously, about how we think. And today's video is about stinking thinking, and we've touched upon that in the past. But really, it is what it is about our thinking. And how we often think negatively. Science has shown that whatever we think about or our mind believes influences us positively or negatively, depending on what we're thinking. And the problem is that we have about 50,000 thoughts a day, and 70 to 80% of those in everybody, or most people, I guess, is negative. We have this constant whether it's a judgment on somebody, whether it's, will I get that job? I won't get that job. I'm going to fail. I'm not going to do that. I better not eat that. That's going to go to my hips. And I tell people, if you're thinking like that, you might as well just take that piece of pie or cake or pizza or whatever and just stick it right on your behind, because that's where it's going to end up. Even medication, that's probably a very big one for people. Some people come in and are on medication. And if you know my story, I'm on medication too, having had a kidney transplant. So what I've realized is it's not about the medication that's bad. I mean, it has its problems, obviously, but more importantly is how I think about it. If I think it's bad for me, it's going to be 10 times worse than what the medication is. I don't read the side effects list. I don't follow any of that, and knock on wood, I haven't had any side effects, but a lot of people do, and some people that read all the side effects tend to get all those side effects of those medications. So it's not to say that you shouldn't be aware, but I play things as, what I'll deal with whatever comes up, and not worry about things I can't control. And whatever happens to me, whether it's a medication or I get hit by a bus, that's out of my control. So I'm really working on what's in my control. And what I can control is how I think. Right now, a lot of us can't. It's this constant little monkey that's running in our brain thinking like, am I good enough? Am I loved? Does she love me? Does he love me? Do my kids love me? Do my parents love me? This constant thing of, am I fat? Am I ugly? Will I ever find someone? Do I have enough money to live the rest of my life? There's this constant little monkey going on in our heads. And for me, sometimes people get caught up and stuck in a situation. So we're stuck in a rut of just negative or stinking thinking. And for me, what I've learned is really just, it's about an action. Our whole life we've been stuck in something, whether it's a job or a career we don't like, a situation where we're living we don't like, maybe we don't like the school we're at, maybe we don't like our relationships or how a relationship is running, whether it's with a family member or a friend. It's taking an action, so it's doing something that's different. And the problem is it's fearful and we don't do it. I've been just as guilty as probably each and every one of you when I share this, is we get stuck in fear of whether we say something that might be wrong or do something that might be wrong. There's no wrong action, because you can always take another action. So it's really just, the first thing is doing something that's different, that's a change. And as soon as you have a new change in something, obviously it opens up something. And we're in a world now like there's tons of depression, tons of anxiety, is because there's so much distraction. We get there's so much stuff going in our heads that we don't give ourselves enough time to process anything, and it's just like bombarded. So you have tons of kids on anxiety medication and tons of people on anxiety, depression, and it is a problem. I get that, but we need to do something ourselves, take responsibility for how we're thinking, and do something different. But what happens is we do something that may fail, and then I'm not doing that again. But try something maybe going right instead of left, and that'll help us move forward. The problem is it doesn't just affect us mentally, but it does affect us physically. If you've been to one of my talks in the past, you know that, in the stinking thinking portion, we do something. I have people, I give everyone some litmus paper, and that checks your pH level in the body, or anything really. And what I do is I give people two pieces. They take their saliva currently, and they measure it, right, on some paper, and then I have them think of something that's extremely painful or hurtful, something in the past that's created a lot of emotion. That's negative emotion, and then we redo the test. Every single person, everyone I've ever done this to, the pH of that goes down, meaning your acidity level drops. So what happens is that we talked about acidity in the body, creating an imbalance and creating an unwell state, and that's what we're doing. But just imagine how having this thinking for 10, 20, 30 years is compounding and creating what it's creating in our bodies, the unwellness that's creating there, whether we know it or not. And we could blame it to arthritis, to cancer, who knows? And I'm not saying any of that, but it does affect us overall. And so really what we want to do is time to evict that little bully of ours, time to get that little monkey off our back. And how do we do that? There's a couple strategies, that worked. Some that worked for me is, I just put a little simple words, 2 words, be positive. And if you've listened to my affirmations video, we talk about how that's significant. And it's just a shift of thinking. And so you see it and you slowly start to resonate with you. And you start to change a little bit more to that positive side. A little bit more drastic way would be to start to meditate. Meditation does help. And watch meditation video on how to meditate or how not to meditate really doesn't matter. And it's just about giving yourself some time or sitting stillness, right? Those are some good techniques. The third one is I'm going to be offering a course. It's a 10-week course. It's 1 day a week, and we're going to go through some things. I'm going to teach people what I've done. I've just took my daughter today to the park, and she was playing in the park, and I just sat in silence in my head, and I probably went for 10 minutes. I was just being present in what was happening. I had no thoughts, and there's not too many people that I can talk to that can say that there's not something that's running on in their head. Like there was nothing. It wasn't like, you can have that blank stare where you're not thinking of everything. This is me present of what was happening, but no thoughts. And it's pretty impactful. And so I'm going to teach that to people. I'm not going to say you're going to get to where I was, but if you practice, you definitely will be able to. And if you're interested, you can just send me an email, and I'll attach you to my email list of people that are interested in this at Kris Belfry, so my name, Kris Belfry, Belfry, @gmail.com. And send me an email, and I would send you the information when it comes available and when it's ready to go, and all the particulars. If you have any questions or any comments, I would love to hear them, as I always do. And take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.